Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to Pie in the Sky Tours. In today's video, I'll be showcasing some stress tests using the different anti-aliasing options with all settings pushed to the max in Microsoft Flight Simulator VR. The reason for doing these demos is to show the different results I'm getting in VR using SimUpdate 10 Beta and my HP Reverb G2 headset. I'm using Windows 10 with a 3080 GPU and an i9-10900K processor with 64GB of RAM. For more information about my specs, you can check them out in the video description. You can see here I'm flying around Manila in the Philippines with CloudSurf's latest product, which is available on SimMarket and Orbix. I absolutely love what they've done and it looks so true to life. I even spotted my whole condo. And for the background music today, it's me playing some blues with my upgraded Strat, which I can't put down. For the actual testing, I chose to fly over Istanbul in Turkey, since it's not a paid add-on and I like to run the demos flying over default terrain in cities. I didn't fly particularly low, however I made sure to get a balance of built-up areas along with some water and coastal details. I feel this was a good platform to showcase the tests. First I set all the sliders to their maximum settings, along with terrain and object levels of detail to the highest. Whenever I changed each anti-aliasing option, I made sure to set the render to 100 whenever applicable and check that the sliders did not reset. I also made sure to reset the sim in the headset after each flight so the VR wasn't hindered in any way from the previous test. I then went through each anti-aliasing option and measured the frames per second and frame times. Remember, the settings are completely maxed out, so we aren't really expecting high performance, but it is interesting to see how the PC handles it using these high settings. If you would like to see a video about my latest settings, check out the video above. I'll also leave a link in the description for your convenience. Here you can see the native VR view of the anti-aliasing option set to off. We're getting quite low frames per second, around 23, 24. With 41, 42 milliseconds for the frame times. But I gotta say, it doesn't look great. The image is quite washed out and there's a lot of flickering in the distances and shimmering. Next we have the anti-aliasing set to Dlaa. I'd say it's a very similar performance to having it turned off. You're looking at 21, 22 frames per second with 45 millisecond frame times. And not very good visuals, just like it was when it was turned off. Quite grainy in the distance. You can really see the stutter in the propellers with these settings too. Now we've got the anti-aliasing set to Fxaa. This is a slightly degraded performance with around 20, 21, 22 FPS and 45, 46 milliseconds for the frame times. But this probably looks the worst in terms of graphics. You can totally see the stuttering in the propellers here, and everything else looks quite grainy on the ground. Obviously not all these details translate onto the flat screen, but I'm just trying to describe what I see through the headset. Next we have the anti-aliasing set to TAA. This is my biggest surprise because I thought it would perform better than this. But again, you're looking at 22 frames per second with around 45 milliseconds frame time. It looks a lot better than the other ones, but it's not a very good performance in terms of frames, and you do actually notice it when you're flying. Obviously we wouldn't use these settings, but again, I'm a bit surprised with the TAA. I thought it would be better performance than it was. And finally we've got the anti-aliasing set to Dlss. You can see this is way better. You're looking at around 30 to 34 FPS with around a 30 to 32 millisecond frame time, which is acceptable. Again, I wouldn't fly like this, but this was easily the best anti-aliasing performance option. So as you can see, Dlss gives the best performance by far. I was quite surprised at the way the TAA option performs, as I figured it would probably be a closer contest. Although I would never fly using these settings, it is always interesting to see how my system runs the sim, and also helps me see how much headroom I have when I dial in settings I actually use, which as we all know is pretty much still a compromise between ultra smooth and high visual quality and clarity. I know a lot of you aren't happy with the loss in clarity when using Dlss, but to me it's still the most improved option for VR, and I'm happy with it for now. I'm also really optimistic as Asobo will be working on improving the clarity in the cockpit during this or the next update, fingers crossed. It'll be great if you could continue to leave your thoughts on how you're finding VR if you did opt into SimUpdate 10 Beta, as I'm always interested to hear what works best for you, plus it gives us more options to try too. I am really pleased with how VR is working with the latest beta build, and encourage you to give it a go if you are keen to see the enhancements it offers. And if you enjoy my content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for all things Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to making the next one soon. As always, take care and stay safe.